Summary functions used in group by clauses. Again, we have our initial example of selecting the count of all rows from the category table, returning 34 rows. All the summary functions. Average takes an average. Count counts things. Max gets a maximum value. Min gets a minimum value. Sum sums up values into a sum or aggregate. How do we deal with average? Average is applied to an expression. Here's a simple average function, the average of the standard price on the seating map. Count, as we've seen a number of times before, will count on an expression or everything. Max gives the maximum value of an expression. Same applies to minimum, and the same applies to sum. Let's go and look at some examples. First of all, let's set the width of the column called name. Now let's select the average standard price in the seating map table for each venue. And we're going to group by the venue name, which comes from the join between venue and seating map. This is the average price on the seating map table for each venue. Note that our seating map table actually only has entries for 3 venues. Let's go off at a little bit of a tangent here. First of all, let's count all the rows resulting from a join between the category and the show table, an inner join. We have 152 rows. That is actually the same as the rows in the show table, which we've seen before. Now let's count an outer join between the show and the category tables. As we've seen before, only 7 of the categories are being used in the show table, so there are a lot of categories that are not used. So an outer join between the category and show tables, with the show exhibiting the deficient side in information, will actually have all the shows plus all the categories joined between show and category, and then it'll have all the categories that don't have any shows. So we have 179 rows. Now we can go and count on the category ID rather than everything. We get the same result. Now let's go and run that outer join again, except with a group by clause. And here we get an interesting result. Remember we said that count always returns at least a single row. Well, as a sum, it does return a single row. This is actually a category that does not exist in the show table, and is telling me that the join between the 2 tables is actually one show, one category. It's trying to tell me that it does have a show, which is incorrect. Really, the outer join is inappropriate in this case, because count returns 1 row. We should actually be getting 0. We couldn't change that count to 0 because there might actually be a show record in the show table for a single category. In other words, there could be 1 show for a category. By using the outer join, I'm showing that the count function can sometimes be very misleading with group by. So let's go and do that same query again without the outer join, and we have correct values for categories in the show table. Now let's go and run a more descriptive or visually friendly query using the names from the different tables. Plus we'll use, in addition to the average and count functions that we've already seen, we'll use the min, max and sum functions. We're going to join the venue and seating map tables again, and we're going to group by the venue name. And this is a nice query. It shows me the average ticket price or ticket area price in the seating map table. Remember, seating map is not actual ticket prices, but area prices, such as balcony, area in front of, area at the end, etc., etc. Here's the lowest price for that Arco Arena, here's the maximum price, and here's the total price. The same applies to Compaq Centre and Orpheum Theatre. Note, since this is a map which is projected with the price multiplier on the show table to produce ticket prices, the sum values are not really very meaningless in this case. However, it does demonstrate the use of the different functions.